Reading have refused to give a licence for a new taxi operator. Uber customers use a mobile phone app to order a cab and work out the fare. The service already runs in many UK cities where it can undercut the cost of a traditional cab. Joe Campbell has the details.
Reading is officially Uber-free, but opened the app today and their cars were out there. Aaron Gleeson works in IT and is an Uber fan.
It's firstly the convenience of being able to just open the application and just hail a taxi from there.
Reading's Hackney trade may be dominated by the familiar London cab, but unlike the capital, Uber isn't licensed to operate here. Black cab drivers say its plans to come to the town without providing a place for drivers to park while they waited for bookings was a recipe for trouble.
With their cars waiting around, it would lead to congestion in the town centre. They would have blocked up the roads, and more importantly, the drivers would have been tempted to illegally apply for hire, i.e. pick up without a booking.
Uber has said it's disappointed with Reading's decision. We asked for an interview to see if they now plan to appeal against it. But Uber said that they had nobody in Reading who could talk to us, and perhaps therein lies their problem. Because high-tech though this area may be, when it comes to the council, they like to have somebody they can speak to in person. Joe Campbell, BBC South Today, in Reading.
Well, let's speak to James Farrer from United Private Hire Drivers, who's himself an Uber driver in London. So, James, why is Uber so controversial?
Well, Uber is controversial because it's able to use the internet to accumulate huge volumes of demand and allocate it very efficiently to independent drivers who can meet that demand at any time, at any place, using an app, so the consumer can pull out their app and hail a cab very, very quickly. So that's very disruptive to the existing model, where you have local minicab operators that are then trying to compete with the economies of scale that Uber enjoy. That's the main reason why it's so very disruptive and controversial. But there are also other issues in the way Uber is organized as a company. Uber's strategy is to drive fares very, very low because what they want to do ultimately is to replace ownership with rideshare. And to do that, it means driving costs down very low, and that's putting a lot of pressure on earnings for drivers. So in London, we've had many protests and drivers, some of whom are our members, earning £5 to £6 an hour. We've had a big demonstration today in Manchester and another one next week in Leeds.
So in which case, James, you are an Uber driver yourself.
That's right.
Why drive for them?
Well, the model is fantastic. It's given drivers the freedom to replace a backstreet minicab office controller with an algorithm. It allows drivers to tap into a huge volume of demand and work that Uber has. For me personally, I drive because I enjoy the flexibility. It's not the only thing I do. I founded an NGO organization called Networked Rights, and Uber gives me the freedom to pursue all these things at the same time. So that aspect of the model works very, very well. What doesn't work so well is the pressure it's putting on workers and worker rights.
James Farrer, thank you very much for joining us. Well, that's everything from us here at BBC South Today tonight. Now let's get the weather